Jordan Center, a place where Iowa has not played very well the last few years. And Big Ten basketball sponsored by Venmo. The Hawkeyes, 20 wins for the first time in 5 years against the Nittany Lions squad. Today with an opportunity to play spoilers. We take a look at the Big Ten standings. Remember, the teams on the left get at least a double bye. Iowa trying to stay on that left side in the top 8, not having to play until Thursday of the Big Ten tournament. Penn State knows it's going to open up on day 1, but they're trying to improve their sense of the standings and their season as we move down the stretch and into March. And what is Iowa playing for? Mike DeCourcy was talking about it in studio. You win today for Ben McCollum on the road. That chance of earning the double bye up to nearly 94%. You lose, obviously heading in the wrong direction. Our starting lineups brought to you by Venmo. Ben McCollum talked this week and told us this morning he was tinkering with maybe changing the starting lineups. He did not, so it is the same starting 5 opposite Penn State. And their 2 leading scorers, Freddie DeLeon and Caden Mingo. Jason Horwitz, Austin Johnson, happy to have you with us. We are underway inside the Bryce Jordan Center. And the Hawkeyes, Austin, as I mentioned, just 1-5 in their last 6 trips to this building.
Yeah, it's been a tough place for them to play. What you're in tune for today is an Iowa group that's one of the most efficient offenses in the entire conference, if not the nation. And Penn State that likes to try to get downhill, attack the rim, and play in open space in transition as well.
Iowa team has been struggling with starts. Happened against Ohio State. And that's one of those guys they need to get going, Cooper Koch. But the offensive rebound for Tavion Banks.
A lot of interchangeable parts, these tweeners that can go and do a little bit of everything on the basketball court for the Hawkeyes, knock down some open shots, also eat glass.
And they get the second look, and that's a big one. Koch, his last 6 games, just 23% from beyond the arc, but he is such a capable shooter.
Yeah, son of Hawkeyes, an NBA player, J.R. Koch. He's a dead-eye shooter, and you got to get into the rhythm early, especially on the road. Good sign.
State hasn't played since last weekend after a rough start. Got hammered in Lincoln against the Cornhuskers. It's knocked out of bounds by Sturts. It will stay with the Nittany Lions. And Bennett Sturts, as good as it comes in the conference. And Austin, he has scored at least 20 or more in 10 of his last 11 games.
Yeah, he's taken the long road to success, which I appreciate. Started at the D2 level, dominated, moved up with a heavy billing and a lot of expectations this year. And what has he done? Just replicate. He can go out and get you 30 points on any given night.
Deep in the shot clock. Josh Reed saw it, had to get it off.
Iowa zoning up Penn State. Penn State is not a good three-point shooting team. They're going to have to find ways to get them out of it.
Extra kick, open look, great ball movement early. It Sturts down the lane. Can't finish. Breaks a lot of plays, Austin, at the rim. Both these teams like to get in the lane.
For sure.
In the 3, open 3. DeLeon knocks it down.
One of the keys to the game is if these 3 Nittany Lions that are all averaging over double digits can go above and beyond their season averages, and that's a good start for DeLeon.
Dale Combs trying to drive baseline. Sit back, still 12 to shoot for the Hawkeyes. The engine of this offense, Bennett Sturts, fades away, soft touch.
Josh Reed gets the initial matchup at 6'8", might be a tad too slow. Bennett Sturts is attacking those feet, making his mind up even before he gets the basketball.
We're looking for Stewart the whole way. That is something you cannot do against Iowa. They feast off points on turnovers. Combs spins and floats it in.
Slow start was problematic against Ohio State in the last one. Not so much here. Not a ton in attendance, but you got to be able to self-manufacture energy on the road, and Iowa is coming with the right type of attitude and approach.
Iowa got down at home 14-2 to the Buckeyes on Wednesday night. And from that point on, went on a 21-1 run.
Something in that under 16 timeout flip for them.
Body control, Juric fell to the floor.
Good slip right there, but moved the basketball a little bit too much, resulting in a miss.
One of the best things for Iowa, the ball never sticks. That movement on the offensive end. Sturts, that's a 3.
Good shot right there for him. Penn State hard hedging and showing. There's going to be a lot of slip opportunities for the big setting for Iowa.
Reed playing so well down the stretch. A lot of contact from Maniau. Juric cannot save it. It is back to the Hawkeyes. Ben McCollum, from his days at Northwest Missouri State to Drake to Iowa, 15 consecutive seasons with at least 20 wins. And for the Hawkeyes, it's their first in 5 years.
81% career winning percentage. Like Nuff said right there, he's won at every single level. And the reason being, he is so competitive. We were joking around with him before the game about how he's competitive in every aspect of life. He still plays and gets after it himself as well, and he wants to dominate you.
And to find the best way to get his team prepared to get into the NCAA tournament and move through it. Josh Reed, Koch, a lot of contact, no foul called. And Josh Reed, he was patient in the paint, he scored.
It's a good job getting to that weak side, isolating Reed. Good balance right there, multiple pivots until he's able to get the angle. Koch goes over and he doesn't get flustered.
Floater for Combs over the outstretched arms of Juric.
Combs was an X factor in that game against Ohio State. Held Bruce Thornton, reigning Big Ten Player of the Week, to 10 points in that one.
Juric trying to back down Fulgaris. He just checked in, and he does back the Spaniard all the way to the basket.
The poise, calmness in the paint by Juric right there. Fulgaris was pushing him out almost towards the three-point line, and he never got flustered.
And Juric has about 25, 30 pounds.
Yep. And he used it right there to get to his spot.
Harris coming off a season-high 20 points in the win against the Buckeyes. Found Sturtz. He's fouled, and that will send us to the timeout. Bennett Sturtz, cool, calm, collected. As much of a heater as anybody in the conference the last month and a half. And he's got Iowa up a deuce on the road.
This or that.
Here they come, yo. Here they come.
You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. I think you Venmo this, yo. Swears that. Yo, liftily. Yo, we can make it. Hip to me. What we are, cuz what we be. Be the epitome. Do, da, dippity. You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. I think you Venmo this.
Get your Venmo debit card today and get up to 5% cash back.
ACE's YardRx program prescribes the best lawn care specific to your yard's needs, delivered every season. Because when you want greener grass, less weeds, and fewer bugs, you can get a personalized prescription delivered free from the helpful folks at ACE. Subscribe now and save 20% on everything you need all year. From our store to your front door, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Let's go, bud. Hurry up. Come on. I'm a baseball dad. Just because I didn't go pro doesn't mean my kid won't. Give me that. No pressure, kid. Coach says it doesn't matter if you win or lose the game, but that's what losers say. You got to swivel those hips, right? And you got to swing. 4! And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Switch to Allstate and you could save hundreds. What are you waiting for? Make your move before I do.
This March, the path to the Big Ten title ends in Chicago. 18 teams.
This is going to be iconic.
10 games.
There's still time left.
One shot.
For the win!
A champion will rise in the Windy City.
Unbelievable.
Live coverage of the TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament begins March 11th on the Big Ten Network.
In the conference that delivers non-stop action.
And the threes are falling for everybody.
Intense rivalries.
Making a name for herself.
And nail-biting drama.
She can't be stopped.
Only one show brings you the stories behind the biggest stars and takes you beyond the hardwood, on the court, all season long on the Big Ten Network. And see more Big Ten stories anytime on Big Ten Plus.
Iowa up by 2 here on this early afternoon tip. Bryce Jordan center head. It's amazing smell of cinnamon rolls when we walk walked in this morning. It still smells like that. Jason Horowitz, Austin Johnson, happy to have you with us. Hawkeyes up by 2. Look, this is a team that's heading towards the NCAA tournament, but Ben McCollum's been dealing with, hey, whether do I change my starting lineup, do I not? He opted today not to, and they're up 9-7 early going.
Honestly, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it for these guys. They're coming off of a win, and I think that he made a really good point that sometimes when you remove somebody from your starting lineup, that messes up their flow. And in guys who are used to being able to monitor games, such as Alvaro Fulgares, seeing how he can go in there and be impactful immediately, you don't want to throw it off, especially as you get closer and closer to postseason play.
When you think about it, with this game today, the Hawkeyes, 3 regular season games left. Whatever they're able to accomplish in Chicago in the Big Ten tournament, there's just not that much time left to be changing things on the fly. Gianni off the bench called for an offensive foul.
But a quick start is imperative here. And the reason being is if you look ahead, and obviously you don't want to do that if you're any Big Ten team, who do you have staring down the barrel for you as the Iowa Hawkeyes? You got Michigan next, and then you got to go back to Nebraska. 2 top 25 teams. You know neither one of those contests are going to be easy, so you got to take advantage of the non-ranked opponents.
Michigan last night with the road win at Illinois claimed the regular season outright Big Ten title. Isaiah Howard off the bench found Combs, and that is 6 early points for Cale Combs. He only averages 5.5 a game.
Doesn't stop moving when he doesn't have the basketball. Phenomenal 45 cut right into the sweet spot. And how about the flotation device?
Dominic Stewart, and that's a big shot. He has been playing so much better, but 0 of 6 from 3 the last 2 games, and they need him to stretch the defense.
And he's taken the necessary jump from freshman year to sophomore year, gotten more strong in the weight room. He keeps progressing in the right direction.
Isaiah Howard trying to penetrate. It's Fulgares in the corner. And another offensive rebound, the second for Tavion Banks.
And he did his work early right there. That's how you root out on the weak side.
Foul, it's hold. Cale Combs grabbed Dillion, racing for the ball, and a foul called on the Hawkeyes.
Probably smart right there by Combs. Cerebral play, good job, good recognition by Dillion. Quick hands, be able to get to that leather without creating contact with the skin.
Combs, people have talked about his defense and how much better he was defensively against Bruce Thornton and the Buckeyes on Wednesday night, but he's got 6 points, Austin, here in the early going. He's got 11 straight games scoring 6 or fewer.
Yeah, one of those interchangeable parts. He does what you need him to do game by game, and you know the scout changes. That's what Coach McCollum said. He locked into the scout against Bruce Thornton and executed it perfectly.
Nittany Lions deep into the bench. 2 out to Stewart. 6 to shoot. Dillion, he hits again, and we're tied at 13.
That is beautiful right there. The elevation got so high right there, was able to fade. That's what allowed for him to be able to convert on that deep threat.
Nittany Lions already 3 triples in this ball game. Combined against Rutgers and Nebraska, they only hit 7 in those 2 games.
Fulgares' head was ahead of his feet right there, meaning he was off balance. Got to stay sound when you're driving to the rim.
Sturtz, nice move into the lane. And the bounce pass off the knee of a defender. Dillion, he's got 3 of them. And the Nittany Lions have their first lead.
Feel that momentum snapping back in the direction of Penn State. Nice hit ahead. And Dillion is just trusting the work that he's put in when nobody's around.
Isaiah Howard, that was beautiful. Banks set it up in the paint. DJ Carstensen is talking to Mike Rhodes. And that conversation brings us to a timeout here with 12:23 to go. He stopped play, but Dillion had taken a lot of these, but man, he's hitting early.
And the Tennessee transfer is continue to take the right steps. Good elevation on that 3. And getting to his spots, running the floor, making it happen.
Superstitions, Matt?
Hi, Carly. It's a good thing Discover makes it easy to be a Big Ten fan.
Totally. I get cash back on my rally cap.
Cash back on my favorite glove.
Cash back on my Lucky Shamrock.
Cash back on my game day chicken wings.
Cash back on my one cleat.
I even earned cash back on my lucky bobblehead.
You win. Next round's on me.
Earn cash back on every purchase with Discover. the official card of the Big Ten.
Spring, the unofficial new year for tool people. A time to start new jobs and tackle new projects with new tools from Harbor Freight. Whether you're a pro or just like doing things yourself, we've got the quality tools and savings to start your new year off right. So come celebrate spring savings at Harbor Freight. This weekend, get a free 5-gallon bucket when you spend $29.99 in store.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Ooh, that's rough. At least with Safe Light, you can get that fixed any way you want. Any way I want.
I can schedule a chip fix while I get my hair clipped?
Yep.
They can fix my glass while we fish for bass.
If you want.
They can recalibrate my safety features while I sit at home in my comfy pants?
That one doesn't rhyme, but sure.
Get it fixed any way you want at SafeLight.com.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Brace your taste buds. The new DQ Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket comes with cool DQ soft serve as a dip for just $6.99. Add one of our new tahini lemonades. It's the new Swicy menu, only for a limited time.
A Wednesday night hoops triple header. Indiana hosts Minnesota. Braden Smith leads Purdue against Northwestern. And USC battles Washington. Coverage begins with the tip-off show on the Big Ten Network.
This is a place where one voice can spark a change. But something happens when we work together. You see it, a quiet strength, and you hear it. A not-so-quiet passion. Building community, shaping our future, and we're not done.
Now, Ben McCollum took the timeout after the Iowa bucket. His team down 1 as we take a look at today's keys to the game, brought to you by TurboTax. Austin Johnson, what are you looking at?
Basketball is a game best shared, and you look at Iowa, they do a really good job at that, averaging 15 assists, spraying that basketball around the court. You know Bennett Sturtz is elite. He can go out and get you 30 any given night. But he averages 5 assists on his lonesome, already at 2, so he's trending in the right direction. Got to be connected on the defensive side. Iowa leading the Big Ten, holding opponents to around 64 points per game. Kel Combs, when you drill down into it, that effort against Bruce Thornton is what makes that happen. And for Penn State, ball pressure will be crucial. They get a lot of steals, and you got to be able to push the pace. They're not great in the half court, so you got to find ways to allow your defense to make your offense go.
Dillion with 9 early points for Penn State. And Eli Rice not on the same page with Blackwood. So the 3rd turnover for Penn State. And you know, for Iowa, right, they're a team defensively, right? Best in the Big Ten. They only give it up 64 points again. Part of that is they play the slowest pace in the conference as well, and in the country.
Yeah, your offense is effectively helping you to be able to get back, set up, and load up against your opponent in that way. And I love when Coach McCollum, he's just a guy that they know who they are and they lean into it. They don't have a ton of rim protectors and shot blockers. They don't have the bounciest guys, but they're always going to be connected on that backside and help position and helping one another out.
Tunja driving down the lane, slip and fell, and Iowa trying to get off to the races. Howard left it, got it back, and he'll kick it up to the top to Sturtz. He's got the mismatch on Urich. He saw it, he delivered, couldn't finish.
That's one he's going to want back right there. He was salivating once he got the switch on Urich, attacked those feet, but then a little bit too much English and a clear lane drive. One he typically finishes.
Guarantee he recognized it before we did.
Well, if you're Urich, you recognize that you were on Sturtz Island in that situation. You got to move those feet.
He never comes off the floor, 37 minutes a game. Urich used his entire arm to push Tate Sage, and he's called for the offensive foul.
That's one of those ones where the guy who reacts is the one who gets nixed for the whistle. They're battling right in the paint right before the entry pass. And sometimes you don't get the benefit of the doubt when you're the big guy in that one-on-one dynamic.
I mean, you played in the post, Austin. I mean, you don't necessarily need that. He's got 35, 40 pounds on the freshman from Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's a little strategy right there. You don't want to get into arm wrestling. Stay below the basket. Use your feet to work around.
Sage knocks in the three. Hawkeyes so far today have hit 3 of 6. And they're 54% overall from the floor.
And again, the efficient skip pass cross court into the shooting pocket for their 6th assist already in the first half.
Iowa has answered Penn State's 9-0 run with an 8-0 run of its own. Approaching the midway point of the first half. Mingo has not scored. He's fouled. It looked like he had a clear lane. He just couldn't hold on to the basketball and then forced it. You know, everyone just kind of cleared out for Mingo, and he kind of just lost the ball.
Yeah, good hesitation. A little bit of a tween move to get people going in different directions, but maybe a little bit too good to be true from him to see he has such a clear lane. You don't get those often in the Big Ten Conference.
Freshman, nearly 14 points a game. 3rd most by a freshman in the conference this season. Eaton Wagler on his Steinbach, the other 2.
Such a high character young guy, named freshman captain, and an individual who's only going to continue to get better. But one thing that separates him from other freshmen is him buying in defensively. That's typically things that you have a harder time acclimating to when you step up from the high school ranks to the Big Ten level.
He has more steals per game than anybody in the conference. Inside of 10 minutes in the first half, Maniau got it back out. Sturts with 7 to shoot. Howard gets inside. Good defensive possession by the Nittany Lions.
Phenomenal on-ball defense by Mingo, keeping those numbers in front of the driver.
Trying to switch hands, and he's fouled on his way up.
You can see him building up and getting himself going. That basketball has energy. Defensive success leads over at him starting to break and then getting into attack mode. I think he learned from that last possession. When the C's part, go into attack mode. You'll see right here the defensive effort by the young freshman captain on this team. This is the effort that gets you the respect of your teammates staying in the play.
Well, he has been closer to 75% from the free throw line for most of his freshman season. That has become a struggle the last couple of weeks. Remember, Mingo broke his nose in practice 3 weeks ago, was wearing the mask. It is off now for the first time.
I think what you just said just speaks to the psychological aspect of being able to convert consistently from the charity stripe.
They each hit one couple possessions ago. Uric tracks it down. Nittany Lions, bottom of the Big Ten standings. Iowa trying to stay in that position for a double bye in the Big Ten tournament. They've been doing battle so far here in the first half. Both teams nip and tuck the whole way.
Feeling out 2 different, unique styles.
Reed, the high floater. A lot of dribbling for the big guy. Step back. Hey, I got to shoot this.
That's a bailout right there because that wasn't a lot of continuity on that possession, especially on the weak side. A lot of staring and watching, and Reed's able to get a step back to go.
Already 5 triples. They had 7 combined the last 2 games. They lost Sturts, and that's the one guy you can't lose.
Yeah, you got to have your antennas to number 14 at all times.
7 points, 3 assists here in the early going for Bennett Sturts. And another foul on the drive for Mingo. Now, he has certainly made it his emphasis to get to the lane and get to the line, but go back to that last Josh Reed 3.
1 for a low, not by design, just because a lot of people staring and watching, and Reed had no choice but to let it fly, and he's able to get it to go. And then Caden Mingo getting into attack mode. At 6'3", 195, he's one of the more slippier guys to stay in front of when he gets into that action.
Now, Mike Rhodes, his team really struggled last week. The home game against Rutgers, bad start, lost that ball game by double figures, went to Nebraska. They were down by 24 at one point in that first half. So, hey, the guys had a couple days off, got back at it Tuesdays, had a great week of practice. And they felt rested. And Austin, the first halves of those two games, they scored 20 against Rutgers and Nebraska. There's 8 minutes to go in the first half against the best defensive team in the conference, and they're already at 23.
Yeah, I mean, it's building armor, as he said. You got to learn through baptism by fire as the youngest team in the entire Big Ten Conference. Typically, you get there years 2 and 3, but this team is so predicated and relying on freshmen being successful. You got to play through your lumps, bumps, and bruises sometimes.
Howard got the offensive board. Fulgaris tracked down a 3rd and 10. Hawkeyes so efficient on offense when they are rolling. Cannot give them a 3rd opportunity. 6 to shoot, ball moving. Howard trying to get in the paint. He's got 3 to shoot. He's stuck. Sturts launches.
Phenomenal defensive possession.
Iowa getting all it can handle in a game they need to have on the road. Up by 1 here in Happy Valley.
Nothing stops Ram. That means we deliver knockouts. Boom.
Welcome to the jungle.
We don't just ride the bull.
We are the bull.
We're light duty, heavy duty, Hemi V8s, Hurricanes, and Hellcats. And we're backing them with America's best powertrain limited warranty. We're UFC fighting, donut making, NASCAR winning Ram. We're never gonna be something we're not, because nothing stops Ram.
Going to see movies on a Friday night in the Quad Cities here, that was not just an experience to be entertained, but to be educated.
Watching people jump when it's scary and laugh together when it's funny. It's such a communal experience. You're going on a ride with 100 strangers, and we were just inspired to try to hopefully one day make movies that could take an audience on a ride as well.
I just look at filmmaking as it's only about telling stories and having a really fulfilling process and trying to bring that story to life.
Every project that we write, it starts with a spark. 1 or 2 good ideas, they just kind of stick around and we just keep talking about them and talking about them.
Even if there's an outward force saying, we don't want it, that's not a deterrent to us anymore. We're going to try, and sometimes you're going to try and it's going to fail.
It can be a business of rejection, especially when you're 2 kids from Iowa, so having a partner to build you up and keep you confident is so crucial. I'm Brian Woods.
I'm Scott Beck, and we're filmmakers
and University of Iowa graduates.
Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Venmo. Score more with Venmo. And by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza now at marcos.com. Well, I learned the hard way last night that the Creamery closes at 10 p.m. on Friday night. Late night stroll through campus here in Happy Valley, 10:15. Doors were shut. Did not get my desired milkshake last night. Jason Horwitz, Austin Johnson. Very happy still to be here despite that.
I'll tell you what, the majority of our conversations, especially in and around these broadcasts, it's always something to do with food.
Yeah. Well, I bring candy for you. But what did I give you? I gave you Reese's Peanut Butter Cups last game.
You did. You dined me off in the paint with a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Yeah.
I slammed it home, so I appreciate you.
I had the Jones in last night for a Fluffer Nutter milkshake, but it was 10:15. They were close. 24-23, Penn State out of the timeout. Great play, but Reed left his feet a little early.
Sure did. He was vertical right there, jumped maybe a second too soon. That should have been an easy conversion.
And it Sturts directing traffic as he always does into the corner for Banks. Fulgaris unable to get on track. He was so good against the Buckeyes off the bench on Wednesday. Season high 20 points. For the transfer from Robert Morris. Bennett Sturts got the contact. Couldn't get the whistle, couldn't finish. Dillion already hit 3 triples here in the first half. Back out to Stewart. And he is.
Excellent decision by Dillion. He's attacking those elbows, collapsing the defense. And once everybody has all eyes on him, inside out, Dominic Stewart stepping into it confident.
Stewart and Dillion have hit 5 triples here in the first half. Mike Rhodes wanted an offensive foul, didn't get it. Approaching 6 minutes to go. Koch in the corner, regathered, and he has hit a couple. And if they can get Cooper Koch going down the stretch, here in the rest of the Big Ten regular season. That is going to be massive for the Hawkeyes.
Absolutely. Shooting around Bennett Sturtz is a recipe for success. The only returning scholarship player is off to a good start here at State College.
And you know he's shooting threes. Nearly 70% of his shots come from beyond the arc.
And those corners are lethal.
And he had been so good the first 20 games of the year. Over 40% for Koch beyond the arc. It's been such a struggle the last month. This time it's Howard for three.
It's a confidence thing, though. Ebbs and flows. It's a long season. Going to have spurts where you're playing well. You're going to have injuries that you're going to have to battle back from. Got to keep your confident approach at an even keel.
Iowa's largest lead in the first half was 6. Penn State has battled back. At 5 lead changes. Been a really good first half.
The ball movement here. Got to find ways to try to get 2 feet in the paint if you're Penn State.
Now Dillion worked his way. He played off of 2 feet. He's in double figures.
He gets to that Barkley, 6'5", $195. He can post up opposing guards and even some opposing bigs right there. It makes him a very unique Swiss Army type like a weapon.
Penn State shoots 62% from the floor here in the opening half.
Good response.
Deep against Gianni with 6 to shoot.
Good defense by Gianni, staying vertical.
Bulgaris didn't see the help coming into the corner. Koch to beat the horn.
That's a guy that, again, you're going to have to stay loaded to where he is. You're going to have to make decisions on the help side with how he's shooting the basketball right now.
And a foul. It is on Tavion Banks. It's his first. 3 triples here in the first half for Cooper Koch.
Phenomenal pass right there by Bulgaris. That's probably one of his better qualities at 6'10". Obviously he can shoot it, but he understands feel, and with a spread floor with Bennett Sturtz out there at your 1, you're going to have opportunities to knock down threes if you're Koch.
And McCollum said, look, Cooper Koch, the Wisconsin game, I think he was off. Last game against Ohio State, he said his shots were on. They were just long.
To tie it all back to what we were talking about with Coach pregame, this is why you don't change your lineups, because you never know when it's going to be somebody's day.
Media timeout coming on the next whistle. 4 to shoot for Dillion. He backs up over Hawson, who is in the game for the first time.
It's a heat check right there by Dillion. Good job staying in the vicinity by Hawson.
Brendan Hawson hasn't played the last 3 games, the transfer from Kansas State. You know when he's on the floor, he's a danger to shoot the 3.
Patience right there. Want to get yourself into the flow when you're fresh in the game. Get up and down the floor a couple times.
Bennett deep in the shot clock. Sturtz got some space, and he can't hit. Bennett Sturtz started this ball game hitting both of his first 2 shots. He has missed his last 5. Out to Tunja. Inside of 3 minutes to go here in the opening half. Dillion, he has been the best offensive player for Penn State all afternoon.
Yeah, help isn't coming. You drive until you get cut off, and Iowa's not doing a good job of keeping him away from the paint, and he's just rising up and knocking it down.
Emi, 13 points. Sturtz again. You don't see Iowa take quick shots in a possession very often. And an offensive foul called on Mason Blackwood. And Sturtz is down. They help him up, back to the bench. Hawkeyes trailing here on the road. Mike DeCourcy, he's going to join us on the other side and talk about the Hawkeyes NCAA tournament resume next.
Old Trapper Beefs. Camp Cravings.
There you go, buddy. Have fun.
This is not going to be pretty.
We're camping. What could possibly go wrong? No.
Cool.
That did not go as planned.
It never does. All right.
Old Trapper. What's your beef?
So do you have a favorite bobcat?
Hey, Dad.
Hey, that's my jerky.
When it was time to add my son to our car insurance, I was scared to even think about my wallet. But instead, with Drive Easy on the Geico app, my son's safe driving score saved us even more.
It feels good to take control of your wallet. It feels good to Geico.
Looking for a reason to try the $5 McChicken meal deal with McValue? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So money.
That's everything you get with the $5 McChicken meal deal with McValue.
Wake up, you spray tan troll.
What's up?
Nikki, you told me to roast you if you didn't wake up.
Okay, deal's a deal.
I guess that whole beauty sleep thing is a myth.
That's the best you can do.
You look great. For a corpse.
Okay, I'm up. Oh boy, I need something in me.
You mean besides lip filler?
Okay, that was actually pretty good.
I found that fancy restaurant you like on Open Table. But wear a bra this time.
You know I can return you, right?
Good thing you're too lazy.
You know me well.
My mother told me.
Hawkeyes down 2 on the road here at Penn State, 2:29 to go. Jason Horowitz, Austin Johnson back with you here inside the Bryce Jordan Center. We bring in Fox Sports bracket analyst Mike DeCourcy to talk about the Hawkeyes and their resume with March coming up tomorrow. And Mike, as we look at their resume, you currently have them as a 9 seed, which certainly lends the idea of a bubble team, but it feels like you think with so much of the season done that they have a really good shot to just be safe in the tournament.
Yeah, if you're talking about Iowa as a bubble, in regards to the bubble, it better be because they're playing in the Big Ten tournament, a bubble team like Indiana or Ohio State or UCLA. Right now, the bubble is way behind them. They're playing to get out of an 8-9 game. Their biggest problem in their resume, they have excellent predictive metrics. The resume metrics are fine, but they need more quality wins. They have Michigan coming up. They have another game against Nebraska on the road. Those are big games, and of course, whatever happens in Chicago in the Big Ten tournament.
I think elite guard play is the primary driver of a deep NCAA tournament run. How primed is this Iowa Hawkeyes team to make a run driven by Bennett Sturts?
Now we'll get some of those thoughts there from Mike. Coming up at the half, he will be in studio. The halftime report coming up in just a little bit more than 2 minutes. Rick Pizzo, Earl Watson coming up. There is Sturts right on cue, prime guard play, and he's got the experience. Austin, I mean, he was with Drake last year at Ben McCollum, and they beat Missouri as an 11 seed.
Yeah, he's already battle tested. He's been there before. I think that this team has the recipe to be able to make some noise just because of his individual ability to make impossible shots.
Fine inside, Juric laid it in.
That ball was on a rope right by the ear of the defender. Good job cutting with purpose right there by Juric.
This has been the cleanest Penn State's offense has looked in quite some time. They are shooting 63%, but it's that end of the floor, and the confidence is building. Cooper Koch with 4 triples here in the first half.
Cooking, and all from the same area on the court. This is Coach Ben McCollum putting Koch in areas to succeed.
He already, Austin, has a career-high 4 threes, and we're not even at halftime.
Never know when it's going to be your day as a player. Continue to approach the game in a respectful manner, and the basketball gods will pay you back at some point.
See if they can try and find him. He is deep. Into the corner, Austin for 3. Now, don't forget, coming up, it's the halftime show presented by State Farm. Rick Pizzo, Earl Watson, and that man we just talked to, Mike DeCourcy. Their thoughts on this first half. And a huge day around the conference. Mike talked about the bubble teams. USC's got Nebraska at home later today here on Big Ten Network. So a big day start to finish here. Down to 7. Freddie Dilion leading all scorers with 13. Down to 3. One-on-one, launches, no, Banks clears, 8 to play in the half. Sturts down the lane and scooped it in. Nobody stopped Ball, and that is how the half will come to an end. A dozen for Bennett Sturts, and the Hawkeyes took Penn State's best shot, and they'll go into the locker room up by 4.
Establish a good rhythm from deep. Bennett Sturts, as good as advertised, doing what he does, controlling the pace of this game.
Hawkeyes head to the locker room with the lead, and when we return, we head you back to Chicago for the halftime show presented by State Farm. Rick, Earl, Mike, they are coming up right next after the break.
Try Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
We ride for Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream.
What did she say?
She said Dr. Pepper Cherry is the bestest, boldest Dr. Pepper.
Now, just a doggone minute.
There's no finer flavor than Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
Thank you, Blackberry Raven.
Marathon is rewarding fans with savings of up to $1 per gallon, all by earning rewards on every gallon and on select in-store items, making every pit stop and snack break worthy of a celebration. Marathon, the official fuel of the Big Ten.
Mixed nuts have finally leveled up. Meet Blue Diamond almonds and more. Almonds, cashews, and pistachios in 3 signature flavors. Taste that's undeniable. Freshness guaranteed. Blue Diamond almonds and more. The flavorful nut mix.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I did not check who was behind me at the game. Dude, she just pointed at me. That's crazy. Checking Allstate first was the right move. I love you!
I love you!
Not checking who was sitting behind me was humbling.
That's her mom. That's Mrs. Betts.
Yeah, check Allstate first. You could save hundreds. Go Bruins.
Go Bruins.
Brace your taste buds. The new DQ Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket comes with cool DQ soft serve as a dip for just $6.99. Add one of our new tahini lemonades. It's the new Swicy menu, only for a limited time.
ACE's YardRx program prescribes the best lawn care, specific to your yard's needs, delivered every season. Because when you want greener grass, less weeds, and fewer bugs, you can get a personalized prescription delivered free from the helpful folks at ACE. Subscribe now and save 20% on everything you need all year. From our store to your front door, with service so good it's guaranteed.
ACE is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
There's a way more planty way to get your protein for the day.
You got this.
There's 13 grams complete plant protein and 50% less sugar in this silk. How long have we been in here?
And you're feeling plenty good.
Iowa's Cooper Koch knocked down 4 3-pointers in the first half. He has a dozen. Hawkeyes over the Nittany Lions, 38-34 at the break. Welcome inside our Big Ten Network studios in the State Farm halftime. Rick Pizzo, Earl Watson, Mike DeCourcy alongside after a very competitive first half. 4 ties, 8 lead changes as expected. Bennett Sturts, one of the leading scorers in this game, Earl, but he's not just scoring, he's sharing. And Iowa as a whole is doing a great job in terms of assisting the basketball and putting shooters in spots to make shots.
Yeah, first give credit to Penn State because every action has a reaction in basketball, and we understand that. And what are they doing? They're taking away the roller. They're completely tagging. Literally, they're tagging. They're coming over the touch. When you come over the touch, it leaves open windows on the weak side of the court, usually the corner. Sturts finds it with on-time pass, on target, passing with love. Once again, corner 3, Koch is going to have a lot of available opportunities as well as other players on this Iowa team. And what does that mean? That means throughout the game, you have to find a way also to get Sturts going because if not, he would lose his rhythm offensively as the game winds down the last 5 minutes.
Penn State has done a wonderful job defensively of making Iowa uncomfortable. They are doing things in a way that
puts Iowa in circumstances they're not used to, and you're seeing it reflected in Sturtz's 4 of 10 shooting from the field, and that took a late rally to get to 4 of 10. And so Iowa needs to get itself back to where it wants to be in order to stretch this out a little bit. You don't want to be in a 1-2 possession game with Penn State late in this circumstance, because all the game pressure is on Iowa.
We said pregame that Indy Lions' big three all had to show up. DeLeon Reed, a combined 20, but Caden Mingo has just 4 points, all from the free throw line. Doesn't have a recorded field goal attempt yet in the first half for the Nittany Lions. We come back, look ahead to the next two games coming up next here on the Big Ten Network as Oregon faces Northwestern and Nebraska takes on USC.
What if I get an offender bender?
State Farm's there with the assist.
Jersey swap?
Jersey swap.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Oh, I'm feeling this.
I assisted with security things.
Swap.
I assisted with popcorn.
Swap.
Get that jersey.
Get your corn there.
Hey, I assisted myself by filing a claim on the State Farm app.
Swap.
In my halftime show, I had
a great story.
We're done swapping. Too late, circus man.
State Farm with the assist.
Spring, the unofficial new year for tool people. A time to start new jobs and tackle new projects with new tools from Harbor Freight. Whether you're a pro or just like doing things yourself, we've got the quality tools and savings to start your new year off right. So come celebrate spring savings at Harbor Freight. This weekend, get a free 5-gallon bucket when you spend $29.99 in store.
Brace your taste buds. The new DQ Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket comes with cool DQ soft serve as a dip for just $6.99. Add one of our new tahini lemonades. It's the new Spicy menu, only for a limited time.
Sweet sandwich time. It makes it taste so good. So good. So good.
Big Ten basketball, it is a beautiful thing.
This pass. Oh, man. Mercy me.
He made it at the buzzer!
You got to earn everything. Nothing ever given to you.
It's been an awesome journey. Hopefully there's a lot more chapters in it.
An all-new episode of The Journey, Tuesday on the Big Ten Network.
Up next here on the Big Ten Network, Oregon and Northwestern. Same time window for UCLA on the road at Minnesota. Third and final game of our Saturday tripleheader takes us out west as USC plays host to Nebraska. Same time for Wisconsin and Washington as the Badgers try to avoid being swept out west after losing to Oregon. Mike, let's talk about Nebraska and USC. You hate to say any game until you get to an elimination game is a must-win, but at this point, USC has to feel like it's playing Game 7 in the playoffs every night it takes the floor.
Yeah, what they have left is this game. They have another game against their arch rival Bruins, so they really need to play much better, and they have to get the chemistry right between Elijah Arenas and Chad Baker-Mazara. Not their fault. Chad was out for so long, and then Elijah just came back. But getting that right is really essential to them finishing well.
Needing a couple of quality wins. Tough schedule, but the good news is that means you not only have challenges, but you have opportunities. As for Oregon Northwestern, a little bit of a different tale. These are not teams that are headed toward the NCAA tournament, but Earl, they're tied in the Big Ten standings right now. And the loser of this game on Saturday afternoon, very unlikely to crawl out of playing the very first ever Tuesday in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, still a must-win for either team. We're talking about two of the best scorers in America. You have Martinelli versus Biddle. Martinelli, a non-pattern scorer, unorthodox. He gets it in ways you don't see it coming. He can get to the rim, can score in a number of ways. And Biddle, pattern scorer. You see it coming, you can't stop it. Great offense, you have no clue what's going to happen, but defense is going to be important.
If you're near our studios here in Chicago and you have the chance, get down to Welsh Ryan Arena. It is Nick Martinelli bobblehead day. I interviewed Nick on Friday. We put the bobblehead up to the actual Nick Martinelli. The resemblance is uncanny. Unbelievable job done by Northwestern's creative team. Freddie DeLeon did an unbelievable job for Penn State in the first half. He's the game's leading scorer with 13, but the Nittany Lions still trail Iowa by 4 at the break.
Every truck month, trucks talk tough. Only one delivers the trucks worth talking about. Ram Truck Month. The most powerful light-duty gas lineup in America. Backed by America's best powertrain limited warranty. Built to never stop. Hurry in for great deals during Ram Truck Month. The only one worth the talk. Nothing stops Ram.
Purchase this Ram 1500 and get 0% financing for 60 months or $6,500 total cash allowance on select 2026 Ram 1500 models in dealer inventory. And get a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
That's rough. But hey, with SafeLight, you can get that fixed any way you want.
Anywhere I want.
It's your windshield. Get it fixed any way you want with SafeLight.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
Introducing Mike's Hot Italian Sub from Jersey Mike's. The only sub that's served as hot as its hot takes. Hot take, everyone wants to be hot, subs included. Here's another hot take. Melty cheese pulls, way too hot for TV. Third hot take, chopped pepper relish is a love language. Hot take, a regular for only $8.95 is too hot a deal to pass up. Actually, that last hot take was more of a hot fact. The all-new Mike's Hot Italian Sub for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Sweet sandwich time. It makes it taste so good. So good. So good. So good. So good.
Throughout Black History Month, the Big Ten Network salutes the big impact pioneers, athletes that brought change and made history in Big Ten sports.
Great pass to Cheryl Miller, sophomore halfback, plays a major role in toppling Michigan to its first defeat.
Celebrate these stories of wisdom, integrity, and grit.
Here's a shot. Goal! Jakes, your 14th goal of the year.
The Big Ten Network celebrates Black History Month and congratulates the big impact pioneers.
All right, I'm gonna change your world.
That's gonna be interesting.
Let's go. I love to root for great.
Yeah.
I want to watch history.
Ooh.
You want to root for the underdog. Good luck with that. In sports, people hate what they fear. They hate the Cowboys. They hate LeBron. I've got a lot of haters.
Truth hurts sometimes.
I'm controversial when I don't even mean to be. It doesn't matter how many times I'm right. You'll still argue with me. This is The Herd.
Halftime on the Big Ten Network is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Bennett Sturts doing Bennett Sturts things. Not only the team lead with 4 assists, but tied for a team high with 12 points. Hawkeyes over the Nittany Lions by 4. Second half comes your way next.
Taxes was so taxing.
Now taxes is so free. Terrible tax, free edition only. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is taxes, file for free and get the most money back. Guaranteed.
Welcome to Hampton by Hilton. Big game tomorrow. You guys ready?
Oh, we're ready, Gus.
Which way's our room?
Bring it in. 301, 2 queens, best sleep guaranteed.
So comfy.
Nailed it.
1, 2, 3. Bravo!
Syrup.
You're hungry for the win.
Big time.
When you're playing to win, it matters where you stay. Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
Mixed nuts have finally leveled up. Meet Blue Diamond almonds and more. Almonds, cashews, and pistachios in 3 signature flavors. Taste that's undeniable. Freshness guaranteed. Blue Diamond almonds and more. The flavorful nut mix.
I love beef.
I don't think they'll take that here.
Of course they take Discover. It's accepted in 99% of places.
99%? I didn't know that.
You're stuck in the past, baby.
You're the one who owns 13 pairs of parachute pants.
Well, fashion is cyclical. They'll be back. Right? Hopefully.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places nationwide. Earn cash back at all of them.
There's a way more planty way to get your protein for the day.
You got this.
There's 13 grams complete plant protein and 50% less sugar in this silk. How long have we been in here?
And you're feeling plenty good.
Fumble. He dropped it.
My mother told me.
We spent the last 9 years asking for the return of the snack wrap. And we won. But should we have been asking for even more? The hot honey snack wrap is here. Now we've really won.
Getting set for the start of the second half. Iowa up by 4. Pop Rocks, local kid jump rope, and that was unreal at the half. You and I can't jump rope twice, and they were doing it for a solid 5 minutes. Jason Norwood's Austin Johnson, happy to have you back with us here. That was special. Cooper Koch was special in the first half. He hadn't hit more than 2 threes in a game in 2.5 months. Austin, he had a career high 4 in the first half.
That's why you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. In Koch's situation, he played well off the ball. I think he spaced himself, and his teammates did a phenomenal job of finding him. Do what you do well, and that's locating yourself in those deep corners and knocking down wide open opportunities. That's the stuff that you'll need if you're Iowa trying to go deep into postseason play.
One of our game leaders brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. He and Bennett Sturtz tied with 12 to lead the Hawkeyes. Freddie DeLeon had been struggling a little bit of late, but 13 points to lead all scores. And he did it from beyond the arc. He hasn't been taking threes the last 5-6 games because he had been struggling, but he hit his first 3, and that was a big confidence boost too.
Mixed it up. He used the ability to get something going from deep, to then attack closeouts to try to get things going in the mid-range as well.
Urich down low, couldn't finish, but he does draw the foul for Manyao. That is his first. So Ivan Juric, the freshman from Croatia, will go to the free throw line. The Nittany Lions leading rebounder. He struggled around the rim today a little bit.
Yeah, he has, but he's been battling. And Coach Mike Rhodes said that's one of his best qualities is he's a competitor. And he's going to bring it every single day, every single practice, every single time out on the court. So next play mentality for him. It all come together and pay off. He's still only in his first year here, obviously.
Missed them both. Not a ton of free throws in the first half. Nittany Lions took 6. Hawkeyes only went to the line twice. Weren't a ton of fouls called, so the only player who had to was Cale Combs. And Koch continues, and now has a career high. 15 already in the game.
He's established real estate in those corners. That is his sweet spot. Nice job by Manyao, fighting to get open early on in the possession and then playing the facilitator role.
He is 5 of 6 from beyond the arc. A lot of traffic. DeLeon forced it up a little bit. And we didn't see a lot of Cale Combs. He went to the bench when he picked up that second foul. Remember, he was the one who had 6 early points in the game.
Yeah, he got these guys going. But guess who has that DeLeon matchup? It's Cale Combs, who they deploy when they need to stop the opposing team's best player.
Manyao drives right at the lane and couldn't put it over the rim.
Got caught in between the left and right-handed layup.
Mingo quickly to the other end.
Needed more from him, and he is coming out in attack mode. He completes that big 3 for Penn State, averaging in double figures.
It's nice, fine down low to Manyao.
See his eyes always up on the rim. Sturtz, that is, thinking as a shot blocker that he's going up for the layup. He drops it off at the last second.
Trapped in the corner. 2 minutes gone by here in the second half. Urich down low, working on Manyao. Draws the foul again. This time the opportunity for 3.
Ivan Juric is an absolute load to fight with. I do not want to be Manyow in this situation, but watch Sturt's look-off ability right there. Is able to draw two because he's always a scoring threat. Gotta always drive to score it, so then you can become a facilitator.
Back to a 4-point game. 4 ties in the first half, 8 lead changes. Banks got Juric to leave his feet, and then it was all the rim for him.
Nice little hesitation right there. Poise in the paint, playing off too, especially against bigger defenders.
Reed trying to back down Koch. Got every piece of the rim and the bucket.
That is a tough vet move. Gets to that Barkley right at the right elbow. Like the swing through to create separation without picking up the offensive foul.
He has been averaging more than 15 points a game over the course of the last month and a half. The foul, it's called on Josh Reed. That is his first.
Yeah, Reed operating in close quarters. He is prolific from 15 and within, and he lets Koch know you can knock down as many threes as you want, but you are too small, my boy.
And that hand gesture, was that your thing 14 years ago?
It wasn't a thing 14 years ago.
Yeah, but you just literally looked him in the eyes, stared him down.
Yeah, at that point. It's gained a lot of steam over the last 5 or 6 years.
Mingo commits the foul. That is his second. It's more subtle, Leon. Especially the way that Josh Reed did. He almost hit it.
Keep it Bennett Sturt style, like a silent assassin. Yeah. Just run back like you've been there before, you know?
And Mingo 6 points here this afternoon. Picked up his second foul.
High-low action right there. That was a good flip of the hips.
Sturt said that that was deflected. Ben McCollum has not signaled for the challenge just yet.
Put the pressure on the film review. See if they have an argument here. Not a debate.
Yeah, no indication yet that Ben McCollum is going to challenge that call. What do you think here? Take a quick look.
Looks like I think Juric creates any contact.
I don't think so.
That pass needs to be clean right there. You might have a three-point look.
And Stewart completely showcased where he was going with the basketball, and Iowa forced the turnover. Koch again from 3. And is staying on this end of the floor. It is a foul on the Nittany line.
Good closeout right there by Caden Mingo, taking up the airspace of Koch. When you got shooters that get into the flow, you got to make them drivers, getting out when they're going up for their attempts and making them second guess.
Stewart, who was called for the foul.
2 guys battling for the basketball on the weak side.
Alvaro Fulgaris into the ballgame after scoring 20 against the Buckeyes. He was scoreless in the first half. That is knocked out of bounds. Still 7 to shoot here for Iowa.
Penn State's being very aggressive in these ball screen situations, pushing the screener earlier into the action, trying to speed up whoever's coming off of it.
Fulgaris, you know, that Ben McCollum talked about it this week, the trajectory always going up, but they certainly could use a little bit more consistency. And they've been looking for that consistent second and third person pretty much all season. Reed right to the rim.
The right decision right there. Using all 6'8", 230 against the smaller Kel Combs at 6'4", 205. If they're not going to step up and stop it, you take it all the way to the rim.
Trying to find Fulgaris down low. The pass too high. Nittany Lions basketball on the other side. Hawkeyes have struggled in this building, and they are in a fight here against the Nittany Lions.
Old Trapper Beefs. Pack smash.
My peanut butter and jelly.
Ew.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess my ham and cheese didn't make it.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Now that's a great view.
Yep. ACE's YardRx program prescribes the best lawn care specific to your yard's needs, delivered every season. Because when you want greener grass, less weeds, and fewer bugs, you can get a personalized prescription delivered free from the helpful folks at ACE. Subscribe now and save 20% on everything you need all year. From our store to your front door, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Marathon is rewarding fans with savings of up to $1 per gallon. All by earning rewards on every gallon and on select in-store items. Making every pit stop and snack break worthy of a celebration.
Score.
The more you fuel up, the more you score with Marathon Rewards. Marathon, the official fuel of the Big Ten.
To me, a trailblazer has the courage to go forth and create what hasn't been created before. Art has literally been surrounding me since childhood. Some would say it's embedded in my DNA. Growing up in a city like Baltimore, you know, the streets can be a barrier. By the time I got to Penn State, I knew the artwork that I wanted to make. I wanted to challenge certain social ideas. I wanted to make sure that I had an understanding of how communities like mine had been represented. I wanted to address those things through my work. You can't just say I'm a painter. I'm an illustrator, I'm a sculptor, you know, I'm an author, I'm a writer, I'm a poet. I create the work that moves me and that I think will embolden the kids that I teach to create from their soul in a way that I've been able to do so with mine. I'm Aaron Maben, artist, activist, and Penn State graduate.
Now, coming up, the triple header here on this Saturday continues as Oregon takes on Northwestern, followed by 12th ranked Nebraska and USC. It's all still to come on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. And as Mike DeCourcy told us earlier, he at the moment has 9 Big Ten teams in with his latest bracket he revealed yesterday. Indiana, the last 4 in. USC, one of the first 4 out. They've taken some recent home losses. If they can get one today against Nebraska, that would be massive.
Yeah, they'll need Chad Baker Mazzara to go off. He has that tournament experience, obviously, at Auburn, averaging 18 and a half a game, leading the charge.
For Iowa, how important is this game here today? They come into the day 8th in the Big Ten standings. That would earn the double bye. Trying to win on the road in a place where Hawkeyes have only won once here in the last 6 trips to Happy Valley. Obviously that with Fran McCaffrey. This is a different coaching staff, different style of play, different Penn State team. They have not had a lead and has approached double figures here on the road and has been more like this pretty much the whole game. Juric, use the rim and we're tied.
Position battle right there, quick spin to get to the opposite side, and that's where the lack of rim protection is hurting the Hawkeyes.
Now Penn State starters have scored all 45 of their points. They have played very well on the offensive end today. Banks drove into a double team. Stewart got a piece of it.
Phenomenal job being a secondary help defender by Stewart. Got that at the last second.
Mingo drives right at Sturt. Good defense.
Remain vertical right there. If you're Mingo, come down to 2, kick it out, get back into something better.
Back out to Combs, takes the 3. Sturts crashed the glass, lost the ball. Nittany Lions with a chance to take the lead, and Reed draws the foul on Fulgaris.
Take one right there by Fulgaris. With a Reed that's dribbling at you with a head full of steam. You want to get the Nittany Lions playing against your half-court defense. Try to make them work for something more difficult.
Penn State today shooting 61%. Remember, Iowa, again, part of this, the way that they play, but they give up the fewest points per game in the conference. Reed trying to use his strength on Sturts. Back out to Mingo. Needs it to go. Nittany Lions lead.
They're shooting it at a 22% clip on the year, but it's something about stepping into a three confidently, especially when it's straight on. Increases those percentage.
It's a 9-0 Penn State run. Garris, nice find and a foul. And for Caden Mingo, that is his third with 13:34 to go in the ball game. But you were right, he stepped into that triple.
Everybody knows right shoulder with Josh Reed as he's looking to get to his spot. So he had 3 guys that he's able to occupy with his gravity, leaving Caden Mingo wide open behind the defense, and the young freshman steps up into the moment.
Banks, who averages more than 10 a game with that free throw, just 3 points today. You've gotten what you expect with Bennett Sturts, right? He has scored 20 or more in 10 of the last 11 games. It has been Cooper Koch that for Iowa has really given them their second guy today.
And fairness to Tavion Banks, he's been occupied on the defensive end trying to slow down Ivan Yorich. That takes away your legs when you got to go down and try to be effective on the offensive end.
Offensive foul. Yorich was trying to get position. Instead, he's called for a second.
Man, Yorich came in like a heat-seeking missile, trying to establish his position. But can't do that. Also, good gamesmanship right there by Fulgaris, selling it right in front of this officiating crew.
So 5 fouls here on Penn State. And Iowa, who is a 77% shooting team at the line, they're working their way fouls here in the second half against the Nittany Lions.
Crucial stat to monitor.
And that is authority for his first points this afternoon.
He's been looking for ways to sneak into those crevices. A sky hook, and he turned that hand over, hung on that rim.
Used all of his 6'10" length. Tunja the skip pass to Dillion, but Banks right in his hip. Reed, he hit a high arcer in the first half, and he hit it again!
That is nasty. 12 straight double-doubles, double-figure games for Reed, and he's keeping a good thing going here at home.
He has 14, has hit a couple from beyond the arc, and the Nittany Lions swing back in front, and we're tied again. Banks has the answer. 6 ties, 11 lead changes. What a way to start your Big Ten Saturday.
That is a dime, phenomenal 45 cut across the face of the defense, keeping it simple right there for Banks.
Tunja wanted it in the corner. Reed dribbling on Koch. Found Gianni, and he gathered and put it in.
Another one of those experienced transfers, sees the defense conversion and gets to the opposite side for the guaranteed basket.
If you get points from Sasha Gianni, that's a bonus.
Yeah, you're playing with house money right there. Penn State's playing well offensively.
Fulgaris is fouled. The junior from Spain will be at the line on the other side, but close game and highlights galore.
And he gets it going. They call him El Pupo Fool, the octopus. Uses those long tentacles to stretch and reach the rim. And how about Reed mixing it up, step back action to create the space, knock it down.
Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to park.
Auto Owners thinks the more you protect, the more you should save.
Auto Owners pays what they owe without any hassle. That's simple human sense.
That's simple human sense.
That's simple human sense.
That's rough. But hey, with SafeLight, you can get that fixed any way you want.
Anywhere I want.
It's your windshield. Get it fixed any way you want with SafeLight.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
I can't afford to overpay.
Doug, are you hiding from used car shopping?
Maybe.
I'm always here to help.
Show me, Car Fox.
Almost half of all used cars have been in an accident. Half! Carfax can show how damage impacts price, so you don't have to overpay.
Whoa, I don't have to overpay?
You don't have to overpay.
I don't have to overpay. I don't have to overpay. Come on.
You don't have to overpay. Always look for me and shop millions of great deals at Carfax.com.
There's a way more planty way to get your protein for the day.
You got this.
There's 13 grams complete plant protein and 50% less sugar in this silk. How long have we been in here?
And you're feeling plenty good.
All right, so guys, just smile and say, switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes and get an iPhone 17 on them, no trade-in needed.
Why can't we just say cheese?
Okay, cheese.
Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes and get a new iPhone 17 on us. No trade-in needed.
Brace your taste buds. The new DQ Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket comes with cool DQ soft serve as a dip for just $6.99. Add one of our new Tajin lemonades. It's the new Swicy menu, only for a limited time.
Where's our car?
Call my agent.
I'm on it.
We're covered for this?
That's why you chose Auto Owners. We work together to get the right coverage, so when the unexpected happens, you know you're covered.
That's simple human sense.
March is on. The 2026 TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament returns to Chicago. The United Center will host the annual celebration of Big Ten Hoops, March 10th through the 15th. Tickets are on sale now, so head to big10.org/MVBT to secure your seats today. Give your team a home court advantage as all 18 teams battle for a tournament title. Don't miss the 2026 TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament in Chicago.
Don't miss the Big Ten Network's live coverage of the 2026 TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament. Coming your way from right there, United Center in Chicago, March 11th through the 13th. And you're going to see all the great Player of the Year candidates in this conference. Braden Smith closing in on Bobby Hurley's all-time assist record. Yaxel Lendenberg, as good as advertised all season. Nick Martinelli, still the leading scorer in this conference. And certainly Keaton Wagler has been sensational in his freshman year. But Bennett Sturts, right, his rise from Northwest Missouri State to Drake to Player of the Year candidate. But Austin, in a game like this, when you've got your guy who scores more than 20 a game, he has not scored yet here in the second half.
Yeah, by design, though. I think that we'll see him come on. We talked with Penn State head coach Mike Rhodes before the game. He said his unique separator in that conversation for Big Ten Player of the Year is he picks his spot, lets the game come to him, and then decides when he has to take over.
Well, great hands in the lane. Isaiah Howard. And a block. Dillion got all the way back. Now, the effort has been sensational, both teams this afternoon. Back to Sturts, driving on Kunja, and right on cue, knew when to took over.
Yeah, he could have forced it early in that possession. He had two right in front of him, passed it up, got it back in the flow. That quick first step is always allowing him to get past your hip.
And they share the basketball so well. And another steal to a break out again. Timeout, Penn State. Couple of quick buckets. Timeout on the floor. Reach step aside. Some momentum for the Hawkeyes.
My mother told me.
Basketball throughout this entire night.
They found a way to win.
Score!
The Big Show, tonight after hockey on the Big Ten Network.
This March, the path to the Big Ten title ends in Chicago. 18 teams.
This is going to be iconic.
10 games.
There's still time left.
One shot.
For the win!
A champion will rise in the Windy City.
Unbelievable.
Live coverage of the TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament begins March 11th on the Big Ten Network.
Michigan, Nebraska, Penn State, and Washington compete at the Big Ten Quad Meet tonight at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on the Big Ten Network.
Big Ten basketball, it is a beautiful thing.
This pass. Oh, man. Mercy me.
He made it at the buzzer.
You got to earn everything. Nothing ever given to you.
It's been an awesome journey. Hopefully there's a lot more chapters in it.
An all-new episode of The Journey, Tuesday on the Big Ten Network. In the conference that delivers non-stop action.
And the threes are falling for everybody.
Intense rivalries.
Making a name for herself.
And nail-biting drama.
She can't be stopped.
Only one show brings you the stories behind the biggest stars and takes you beyond the hardwood, on the court, all season long on the Big Ten Network. And see more Big Ten stories anytime on Big Ten Plus. The top-ranked Spartans.
An absolute missile.
Face off with the Buckeyes. Saturday Night Hockey on the Big Ten Network.
Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. A beautiful day here in central Pennsylvania. Walk down to Allen Street Grill. You know, it's the turnovers here all of a sudden that have given Iowa a little bit of a spark. Back-to-back Iowa takeaways have led to 4 quick points in that Penn State timeout.
Scoreless first half for Fulgaris. Got to find ways to be able to get yourself going, and it's been a defensive end. His activity on ball, using that length. Coach McCollum mentioned that he's still learning how to make those winning invisible plays to be impactful. When they're not running sets for you, you got to go out there and earn it or find ways to be impactful, and he's getting it done over the last couple of minutes.
Penn State's got to have an answer. It seems like every time that they have turned it over, it has led to Iowa points. Hawkeyes 19 points off the 9 Penn State turnovers.
Got to be more sound, chin this rock, definitive in your pass.
Now shot, Mingo is still down on the floor. DeLeon had to switch in midair. Juric cleans it up, and now they're going to stop it. Mingo is down on the floor, and Mike Rhodes quickly out to check on his star freshman. Now remember, he broke his nose in practice about a month ago. He had been playing with that black mask on his face for the better part of the last 3 weeks. Better part of the last month. He's back to his feet.
Oof.
Hit his face maybe on the thigh of Ivan Juric.
Friendly fire right there on the dribble drive attempt. Mingo playing off 2, steps through to try to get the angle. And as his momentum takes him down, he hits his face on Juric.
You know, I asked him when we were here last time, about 10 days ago, because he was still playing with that mask against Rutgers before they went to Nebraska. And, you know, get used to it. He's like, yeah, I get used to it. I said, hey, any chance you want to wear it through the season? No, I can't wait to take this thing off. Out of bounds, back to Penn State.
Makes me think of every player that had that 10-game stretch of having to wear it, 10, 15 games. Nobody chooses to wear it after that for reason being.
Remember, Richard Hamilton stuck through it for the entire next couple seasons.
Yeah, maybe he's the one-off. But I think about LeBron and the black mask down in Miami. A lot of condensation building up when you're getting up and down the court.
Is knocked out of bounds by the Hawkeyes.
Got to kick that basketball out. With Isaiah Howard diving down, stunting at you, make him pay, kick it out to shooters.
Reed got an open look, knocked it in. The seesaw back Penn State's direction.
Reed now 3 of 4 from beyond the triple. As about well-balanced as you can be, mixing it up from deep and from 15 and within.
He leads all scorers with 17. And he's got the steal on the other end.
Anticipation, waited for that basketball to leave the deliverer's hands to make a play on.
It almost feels like he thought, hey, this is the opportunity. It is my time to take over this basketball game. I got all the freshmen, the youth that Penn State has played with all year. Late in this season, it has become Josh Reed's team. And a foul called on the Hawkeyes. He has been sensational over the last month and a half of this season.
Yeah, he's been a saving grace. Coach Rhodes talked about everybody's goal within the Big Ten is to get old in season and veteran players that have been there before. Well, Josh Reed is the example. The Cincinnati transfer is showing him how it's done.
And they throw it away. 10 turnovers now for the Nittany Lions. 5 of those in the first half, 5 in the first 11 minutes and change in the second half. Sturts patiently penetrating. Back out to Fulgaris. Never online.
Short rim right there. More legs needed. Hasn't been able to get into a rhythm from deep. Like to see him continue to attack the paint with that size.
Back to Reed, using his size. Steps back. Lefty shot! Josh Reed gives Penn State its largest lead.
I like how he's opening up, surveying the floor. And then the one-legged runner, Josh Reed. I'm sorry, I was not familiar with your game.
He is approaching another career high and a foul. Stewart called for holding. Josh Reed at 22 the last time they played in this building. He's approaching that number again.
Yeah, ripping open, the one-legged floater looking like Dirk Nowitzki right there. That is sweet.
Every truck month, trucks talk tough. Only one delivers the trucks worth talking about. Ram Truck Month. The most powerful light-duty gas lineup in America. Backed by America's best powertrain limited warranty. Built to never stop. Hurry in for great deals during Ram Truck Month. The only one worth the talk. Nothing stops Ram.
Purchase this Ram 1500 and get 0% financing for 60 months or $6,500 total cash allowance on select 2026 Ram 1500 models in dealer inventory. And get a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
I'm the guy sitting next to your girl on the kiss cam.
This game just got a lot more interesting.
Sheila? Mom?
Fire!
And if you don't have the right home coverage, you might have to kiss your savings goodbye. Let's go, beat it. Switch to Allstate and you could save hundreds. What are you waiting for? Make your move before I do.
Who'd you need this for?
I wouldn't have lived this long if I discussed my clients.
You may not live long if you don't.
We do the job, we don't ask questions.
Hi, Dad.
I'm gonna cook and then I have to go.
What?
My mind, it hasn't been right. I'm confusing time. No one can know. My secret.
Memory of a Killer. All new Mondays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
Tyler Reddick struck again in Atlanta.
2 in a row.
Now he's chasing 3 in a row to start the season as we head to Coda with S-turns, right turns, and an uphill turn named Big Red. You can't be all hat, no cattle here. It takes a different breed to tame this track. I reckon the best of the best will get her done. The NASCAR Cup Series from the Circuit of the Americas, Sunday on Fox.
Now coming up, game 2 of our Big Ten Network triple header. Oregon inside Welsh Ryan Arena to take on Northwestern and Nick Martinelli. It's coming up next on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Well, what's at stake for the Iowa Hawkeyes? They came into this ball game 8th place in the conference. You stay above that red line in the top 9 here of these standings. You are going to earn a double bye and not start until Thursday of the Big Ten tournament. And if they win here today at Penn State, that percentage jumps up to nearly 94%. That's a big difference if you lose. And then the other big picture of the resume, we talked to Mike DeCourcy. He has them as a 9 seed right now. He feels their metrics are great, their resume is fine. But this would be a tough loss for the resume as well.
Yeah, you got to have it. And we talked about that in the pregame. What's on the horizon after this game as well. Got to be able to go on the road and take advantage of the ones that you're supposed to win. And this has just been a matchup over the last 5-6 years that has always been a stylistic terror for the Hawkeyes coming to State College.
And they have lost 5 of their last 6 trips into this building. They are down by 2. Mingo is back on the floor after that short rest. And he hit his head on Urich's thigh. Stewart got his man in the air and finishes.
That is excellent. So well disciplined by Stewart, getting to 2 and using the shot fake. You don't want to go up wildly right there. It lowers the shooting percentages of that shot going in.
Now can Iowa find the stroke? Instead, it's Hassan. I was going to ask about Koch because he has kind of disappeared. At 4 threes in the first half, career-high 15 points. Haven't heard from him much lately.
I think we're approaching Bennett Sturt's takeover time. You got to have that one guy who's able to separate and get you a dub, and obviously he has the ability.
It's Manyao into the front court and finishes. Now, Penn State today shoots 65% from the floor. Austin, when they have hung on to the ball, their offense has been electric. Iowa has really feasted as they have all season on turnovers.
They're reading eyes like defensive backs. Case in point, last time down, Manyao saw that the entire way and turns defense into offense.
Mingo had it stripped from behind. And now Iowa pushing pace. Koch never left his feet.
Good decision right there.
Gives it up to Manyao, back out to Hassan. We've seen action for the first time in 4 games, and a great decision to find Combs along the baseline.
That is so patient, and he waits for the dunker spot to open up. An excellent job sneaking behind the defense right there by Combs, so poised.
7th tie of the game, 13 lead changes. Eli Rice can't hit, back the other way for Iowa. And you almost think, too, that the pace that Iowa plays allows you to take that deep breath in moments like this.
Oh, for sure.
Back out to Sturtz, who's right down the lane. Holmes in the corner, the ball swinging side to side. It's Koch. Didn't take the 3. Finishes it, he'll go to the line. His career day continues.
They tried to make a shooter a driver, and he is up for it. Stewart runs at his feet. He's able to dribble past him in a straight line and use a little bit of English to get it going past the shot blocker, who was Uric in that instance.
Koch, 17 points, doesn't go to the free throw line a ton. Less than 1 trip per game, but he hits to convert the 3-point play. It's a quick 7-0 run, and Iowa's back up 3. We approach 5 minutes to go. Penn State has been in a lot of these here against some of the best teams in the conference. Trying to finish one off. Stewart. Tough bounce pass. Urich wasn't ready for it. Couldn't find it.
Saw a couple possessions previous. Stewart getting into the teeth of the defense. Going as a scorer. And that play, I think, a little bit too unselfish. Got to go as a scorer first, and then you play facilitate.
Stay with that token pressure, maybe to get Iowa a little bit sped up into the front court. All the basketball that Bennett Sturtz has seen in his career.
2-3 zone here.
They read it, they found it, and Manyao just rocked the rim.
That's how you execute against the zone, by attacking the free throw line, getting somebody there that's poised under pressure that can also drive and dish and get it to the dunker spot.
Nittany Lions have to have an answer, have to stop the bleeding. Down a 9-0 Iowa run. Urich is fouled. Just the 5th, though, on the Hawkeyes here in the second half.
Good job by Cale Combs getting into the spot to operate against a 2-3. Free throws and elbows. You catch there, you draw 3 defenders. and then you can play fun basketball in the dunker position on the backside.
Sturts was on the ground. He thought Stewart shoved him to the floor. But Iowa knocked it out of bounds anyway. Now the contributions have come in spurts, right? It was Koch in the first half. Manyow has been big here in the second half. He's got 8 points. Mingo's fouled. Manyow got him across the face, so that is his third. Next foul will send Penn State to the line with 4:04 to go in what has been a fabulous start to the conference play here on this Saturday. Mingo's going to go to the bench. Not sure if there's blood maybe on his jersey, but they're going to have the trainer Justin Pomar take a look. You know, again, broken nose 5 weeks ago. The area got to be so sensitive. He looks like he is a little bit wobbly as he is walking back towards the locker room. See if we get an update there on Caden Mingo. Their biggest stars not on the floor in the final 4 minutes. Tunja in the game for Mingo. Reed to the rim, and he'll go to the line. He draws the foul. Down the stretch we come. Huge game for the Hawkeyes on the road. Ben McCollum and company trying to hang on.
Superstitions, Matt?
Hi, Carly. It's a good thing Discover makes it easy to be a Big Ten fan.
Totally. I get cash back on my rally cap.
Cash back on my favorite glove.
Cash back on my Lucky Shamrock.
Cash back on my game day chicken wings.
Cash back on my one cleat.
I even earned cash back on my Lucky bobblehead.
You win. Next round's on me.
Earn cash back on every purchase with Discover, the official card of the Big Ten.
Brace your taste buds. The new DQ Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket comes with cool DQ soft serve as a dip for just $6.99. Add one of our new Tajin lemonades. It's the new Swicy menu, only for a limited time.
Spring, the unofficial new year for tool people. A time to start new jobs and tackle new projects with new tools from Harbor Freight. Whether you're a pro or just like doing things yourself, we've got the quality tools and savings to start your new year off right. So come celebrate spring savings at Harbor Freight. This weekend, get a free 5-gallon bucket when you spend $29.99 in store.
Full Dr. Pepper cherry is the best.
No, Rich Dr. Pepper blackberry is the best.
It's Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
I reckon it's Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream.
Find your flavor.
7 ties, 14 lead changes in the midst of a 9-0 Iowa run that has given the Hawkeyes the lead. Mike DeCourcy, what makes the difference in the Final Four?
Well, it's Bennett Sturts' time. He's the point guard. He's in complete command of the offense. But give some credit to Cooper Koch. On a day when a lot of guys have struggled, the freshman comes through.
Threes have come up huge for Iowa. And coming up next, Nate Biddle in Oregon playing its best basketball of the season, trying to continue a late-season run against Northwestern. Jason, Austin?
All right, Rick, Mike, thank you very much. Penn State will be at the free throw line. Coming out of the timeout, Josh Reed will be there, and he is today's hardest working player. Brought to you by Harbor Freight. 19 points for Josh Reed.
Yeah, he was one of our keys to this game. All 3 of Penn State players that are averaging in double figures. DeLeon set the tone, and Josh Reed has carried them ever since, mixing it up from long, from in between, on the block. There's not much on the basketball court that he's not able to do.
The scoring increase for Josh Reed over the course of his final 2 months of what is his senior season in college basketball. 3 years at Cincinnati, he averaged about 5 points per game last season. But he knocks that in. He's got 21. His second 20-point game in the last 3 contests. And it's back to a one-possession game. Sturts into the corner for Combs. Driving, pulling, missing. Tunja can't find it. It's on the floor. And a tie-up will stay Iowa basketball.
I like the possession right there for the Hawkeyes. Multiple unselfish efforts. Sturts gets close enough to the lane where he could have taken a contested shot, but 3 or 4 ball reversals, and you get a good look. Get Combs dive into the floor. Not only do you get the floor burn, but you earn your team an extra possession.
Tunja getting some late minutes here for Penn State as well with the injury to Cade Mingo. It's looked over to Hassan with 4. He steps and hoists, and another offensive rebound by Koch.
Long shots lead to long rebounds. Good job by Koch tracking that from across the court. He came from deep in the corner.
9 offensive rebounds for the Hawkeyes. They've only led to 5 second chance points. This is a crucial possession. Combs is wide open. And Maniac gives him another chance.
Effort is in favor of Iowa over the last 30 seconds. They are just quicker to the basketball.
You mentioned it, that pass is what we maybe taken for granted. Sturts knocked it off of his foot, and it's Penn State basketball. They weathered the storm, and they played nearly 90 seconds of defense.
That is phenomenal defense right here in the help, in the gap by Reed. Penn State anticipating catching the drive right there. Able to earn themselves another opportunity trying to tie this thing up.
Bennett Sturts has scored just 2 points here in the second half. He has 20 in 10 of the last 11 games, but here this afternoon he's sitting on 14. Tough pass into the corner, offensive foul. And you saw it coming. Juric was trying to get to the spot as the pass was getting there. That is his 4th.
That's a tough one. You've already done your job if you're Juric by being in the vicinity. I'm not sure you need to go out and actually create the contact because you're in the way. So just stay big and in the way of Sturts, and you allow for Stewart to get a shot up.
Penn State now up to 14 turnovers. 9 of them have come here in the second half. Juric playing with 4 fouls, and Maniau knows it. Inside of 2 minutes to go in this ball game. Hawkeyes trying to get one on the road. Sturts. No, Juric has the board.
Good D right there, Reed. Not a lot of shots that Sturts isn't capable of making, but he made that one much more difficult.
Again, same spot at Stewart. Back to Reed, and he draws the foul. Crafty, smart by Josh Reed. He's working on his NBA, and he's going to go to the line.
Graduated from University of Cincinnati in 3 years. Renaissance man, he's into a lot of things non-basketball related, like Pokemon off the court. Well, sometimes you go to a situation and despite the record of your team, it ends up being a better opportunity for you. And because of the need of having a veteran presence, I think Reed has played himself into a favorable spot for a professional career, albeit that be overseas. I think he's earning himself some dollars this year.
Yeah, he has been absolutely outstanding for Mike Rhodes here in conference play. He hits at the line. He's got a career high, 23. And it's a 1-point game. Penn State takes a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds here inside the Bryce George Center.
This March, the path to the Big Ten title ends in Chicago. 18 teams.
This is going to be iconic.
10 games.
There's still time left.
1 shot.
For the win!
A champion will rise in the Windy City.
Unbelievable.
Live coverage of the TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament begins March 11th on the Big Ten Network.
90 seconds to go here in regulation. Hawkeyes up 1. Penn State's bench, no Caden Mingo on the bench. He is back in the locker room. So they are working down the stretch here to hang with Iowa, and this is what's happened with Caden Mingo here today.
Direct contact as you see him falling on the floor first and hitting his own player in the paint. This is just another day at the office of being a Big Ten player, the most physical conference in all of the land. Gonna have those bumps and bruises with the March calendar year here.
The Groats team here at home, at Michigan on the ropes, at Michigan State on the ropes, and here on the last day of February, they've taken Iowa all the way down the stretch in a one-point game. Trying to pull the upset here at home as we head to March. Deep in the shot clock, Sturts to Hawson. Trying to score, can't do it. It's up in the air, rebound the board, and Penn State with a chance to go back in front. Rich fake the three, down low to Reed, finishes, Nittany Lions up a point.
Continues to use that big body to create separation, and when your star freshman is out, you got to go above and beyond. Nice job.
Bennett Sturts time. He has struggled here in the second half. The floater, no! And Reed right there, and there's about a 4-second differential. And Austin, I think you have to foul.
Yeah, you got to get into that mode right now.
And Ben McCollum's out on the floor. He's doing jumping jacks on the sideline, telling his team to foul, and they finally do. They let 14 seconds come off the clock before Combs commit the foul. Ben McCollum was literally doing jumping jacks out near midcourt.
Got to know time, place, and score if you're an Iowa player in that situation. They weren't receiving the directive from their head coach. A lot of time was burned off as a result.
It is just a 1-and-1 for Melih Tunca, the freshman from Turkey who was a 75% free throw shooter. And he urged the second. This is what McCollum was doing when the clock was going down. Watch him start. He gets into full jumping jack mode. And he just couldn't get his team's attention. And they wave it off. A lane violation. He missed the free throw anyway, but a lane violation for a 2-point lead.
The unforced errors. Got to be more sound than this. He just loses balance because of his stance.
Iowa's got 3 timeouts left, and now they take one. With 13.6 on the clock, the Hawkeyes had a 67-62 lead at the last media timeout, but they have not scored in 4 minutes and 17 seconds, and they need a bucket to avoid the upset here on the road.
You always say basketball is such a game of styles, and despite records and despite the runs that you're coming into a contest with, when Iowa and Penn State get together in State College, there is always a flair for the dramatic, and look at us now going down to the wire yet again.
Remember, Hawkeyes came into this ballgame sitting in 8th place in the standings above that line. Remember, playing on the left side of the standings, at least a double bye. They have the 1-game lead over Ohio State, who they beat on Wednesday night. And the Buckeyes are home tomorrow for a massive game for them, not just Big Ten standings, but as a bubble team with Purdue in town. But Iowa here today with Michigan coming up and Nebraska on the road coming up. This game is massive for them. For the opportunity, a win, they're going to get that double bye, but if you don't, it's a question.
It ain't getting any easier after this one, just getting right to it. But the Hawkeyes do still have Bennett Sturts on their side.
We could say he has struggled here in the second half, but he is still not only one of the best players in the conference, he is one of the best players in college basketball, and this ball's in his hands.
It has to be, despite him not being at his season average. He has the unique ability to step up when the moment matters most and to be able to make a play for his team.
Penn State has been waiting all season for a huge win. Sturts has the basketball, and he drives, and he flows, and we're tied. Oh, the lane just parted, and we are tied with 8.6 seconds to go.
We just called it. Nobody else affiliated with this program even thought about taking that shot. They know it was going to number 14, and it's just cone drills. Phenomenal in between to get Stewart off balance once the lane opens up. And how about the look off at the last second to keep the help defense away from him and the finishing ability.
Now, it was Iowa and Ben McCollum who took that timeout, not Mike Rhodes. So Hawkeyes down to one timeout. Nittany Lions with one timeout. 8.6 seconds to go, and if there is a tie-up, the possession arrow is with the home team.
And because of mental lapses over the last couple of minutes, that's a good timeout to get your team mentally recalibrated after the basket. Emphasis on not fouling, sliding your feet, sitting down, keeping your numbers in front of the ball handler. And if you're Penn State, you got to anticipate this ball being in the hands of number 10, Josh Reed, who has been magnificent all afternoon, 25 points.
Remember, no Caden Mingo on the floor. Reed with a career-high 25. DeLeon had 13 early and has not scored in the second half, but he's got the basketball.
He's a threat.
And he's got 4 to go. Here in regulation, DeLeon is tripped. Drive into the lane. There were bodies flying everywhere. And Josh Reed, Mike Rhodes was screaming, why wasn't he fouled? But instead, it's DeLeon fouled with 1.5 to go.
Little press screen action. 2 Iowa players get tangled up, and then as a result, Isaiah Howard trips DeLeon on his way to the basket. That's a good call right there. They get momentum for DeLeon going to the hoop, and if Reed stays on his feet, they had a kick-out opportunity as well.
And so you've got a 84% free throw shooter with 2 shots coming to give Penn State the lead. Now, Austin, remember, both teams have a timeout left, so even if you think, hey, miss it intentionally, if Iowa gets the rebound, they can take that quick timeout. So you think that's not really in play here?
Nah, not at all. I think you make it, you load up, and then you play the chances at that point.
One more coming. Hits them both. Iowa takes that timeout with 1.5 to go. DeLeon clutch at the line. His first points of the second half come with 1.5 to go.
They came at a very timely moment when this team needs it most. Down their star freshman, Caden Mingo, who's been bumped out of this game. And you knew that basketball was going to have, well, that play was going to have Josh Reed involved in it in some capacity. And they use him to take the concentration of Iowa away from DeLeon. And as a result, he gets the lane and the driving opportunity.
Again, back to that foul call. Josh Reed went flying, but because of that, that was the loss of balance for Isaiah Howard. And so he went to the line, he hit both. Iowa is out of timeout, so you're thinking into the front court and a heave, right?
Got to. March is here, right?
Yep. March is made for moments. Technically, it's still February, though. Technically. Here we go. Combs to trigger the inbounds. Iowa's out of timeouts. He can't get it in. Hassan, they're not going to get it off. Iowa doesn't get a shot, and Penn State pulls the upset over the Hawkeyes. Mike Rhodes and the Nittany Lions here at home take the lead at the line with 1.5 seconds to go, and Josh Reed with a career-high 25 led the Nittany Lions to victory.
All hands on deck. Something about that home cooking. When you're back at Bryce Jordan Center, you're able to get some shots to go. They shot it very well from deep, 60% from beyond the triple, and they're able to get it going.
Mike Rhodes coming over to here. He has been working so hard all year. some of the frustration, close games, haven't been able to pull off. Today they did, and this was the final play. They just couldn't get it in bounds.
A little discombobulated right here. You see they're trying to get a catch going away from the rim. But fortified defense from Penn State. They made big plays when it mattered most.
They couldn't get it to Bennett Sturts. They couldn't get it to Cooper Koch, who hit 5 threes. And Mike Rhodes, without his fabulous freshman, Caden Mingo, down the stretch, who left the game with about 4.5 minutes to go. They were able to finish it off at home, and a great game to start the day. Penn State pulls the upset over Iowa. Nittany Lions earn their 3rd conference win of the season. For Austin Johnson, Jason Horowitz, so long from the Bryce Jordan Center. Let's go to a game break. Here's Rick Pizzo.